Hello Pagan Perspective viewers, this is Delia and this is your Saturday sub-slot on the Pagan Perspective. Today we are talking about a topic that punkieVbrite brought up about moon void and how that would influence both the existing and entering signs. Now, when I was reading through the comment, there was something I came up with. So with it being that punkieVbrite was born on February 29th, that is a leap day for our Gregorian calendar, that is something that should probably play a factor in how you determine how you feel these moon signs correlate to a representation that you feel resonates with you. And since it is the Gregorian calendar, it might need you to be a little more objective and not so subjective. Objective is good. It's good to be objective when looking at these things, but maybe play that in as a factor as well. And since we don't have the year of your birth, I am unable to give you a determination what I would see towards researching this void, of course. But I have found a very beneficial website that I think that you might enjoy, and I'm not sure if any of the other subs has found this website, but I'm going to share it with you here. The website is Luminarium, and I will add the link to this website below in the description bar. And what you do is you find your... It's not showing up very well, is it? You find the spot here where it says year and month, and you would enter in February. Let's say you were born in 82. Generate calculator, and it brings you a calendar for February 1982. Let's see, that was not a leap year. So let's try to find one with a leap year. Alright, I found a leap year in February of 1984. So we have the 29th day on the Gregorian calendar that gives us information on when we have rising moon signs, horoscopes. It also tells us lunar days, horoscopes, and that the moon has entered into Aquarius on the 28th of February. So in 1984, February 1984, on the 29th of February, the moon, the rising moon sign, was in Aquarius. And here on this day, it gives us a lunar day, and it's a horoscope, a happy day, good for beginnings, an important pursuit for getting to know influential people and for meeting friends. It favors holidays, amusements, and pleasures, and it proves health. And then it gives you more that you will be able to read on. And it goes into the Vronsky horoscope, the Globa horoscope for the day of the 29th. So maybe this website will help you determine whether your moon rising sign was in a void. A little symbol explanation box. It gives us new moon, first quarter, full moon, last quarter, solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, and then the astrological zodiac signs that are in affiliation with those days. Lunar days, lunar station, apogee and perigee, and then these triangles here at the bottom, the side triangles are void of course starts and void of course ends. So on this day in February 1984, the void of course began on the 27th of February at 11:06, and it ended on the 28th at 5:02. there was no void of course on the day of February 29th, 1984. Now, for me, finding this information just by Googling it, I don't know if it was difficult to find, because I don't know if my idea of being able to find something is within my first try. I had to maybe rephrase things a little differently, try to figure out calendars that had specific void of course days from what year to corresponding 100-year cycle or whatever. But this is just one website, and Megan gave some other informational websites that you would be able to use. And I was going to suggest going to Charming Pixie Flora's YouTube channel, where she had discussed about void, of course, when the moon is in void. And the description she gives is, it's like you try to call someone and you get a busy signal, and magic being done on that day. She has discovered for her own experience that she hasn't had any successful magic during that void of course. And she also suggests that you should just try to find out what works for you and to give it a try, see if the void of course works or not. I have not done any spells on a void of course, and sometimes when I know I really want to do something big, I will check and see if there is a void of course during the time I want to do some type of magic. However, looking back on the spells that I have done, it just was just by chance that I never ended up having a void of course during one of my spells. So I haven't tried to do anything specifically to see if I can counter the effects of a void of course. And just like some of the other subs had mentioned, that they are not astrological experts, so am I not an astrological expert. However, I do have a deep feel of connection with the zodiac signs and the astrological correspondences. However, it's also a very daunting expertise, I think, to get into, because there's so much to understand and learn, and my interests are elsewhere, such with herbal medicine and just embracing my spirituality, that astrological correspondences and understanding of the zodiac is more of a hobby and an enjoyment that I get from just being like, oh, that's so cool how there's these little correspondences. Myself am a Pisces, and it just so happens that my rising moon sign is also Pisces. So I don't know how that helps in any way myself, because I do notice that I do have some characteristics that aren't necessarily the guidelines written down verbatim of what a Pisces is like. I would highly recommend anyone to go back and watch Tara's video here on the Tuesday subs, here on the Pagan Perspective, to have if there's any more questions about what the void of courses are, because she had a valuable amount of resource for what the void of course represents and how it is and what it means. Also, go and check out Charming Pixie Flora's. I'll add a link below for that one as well. And there's more out there. There's lots of stuff that you can Google, or other YouTube individuals that have made videos on the same topic. Now, back to your original first question and your comment. If a person is born during a moon void, would their moon side be influenced by both the existing and entering signs? And again, since I am not an expert, this is just my personal opinion, I do think that they would be influenced by the entering signs and exiting, entering signs. My middle daughter, Kaylin, was born on July 23rd, 2001, and she was born on the cusp of Cancer Leo. And it's not like she was born, she was born 15 minutes to midnight, and that would have been the entering sun sign of Leo. And so she was just 15 minutes at the exiting of the Cancer moon sign. So I believe that she is definitely a Cancer Leo, especially with her own behavioral tendencies. She does resonate well with both of those. Her rising moon sign is Moon in Virgo, which began the 22nd of July and ended on the 25th of July when the moon moved into Libra. So she is a Cancer Leo cusp baby, and rising moon sign is Virgo. So it's kind of interesting to be born on a cusp, and but the cusps for the zodiac sign depending on where you find your information, what research you do, you might find that some constellations in the zodiac and the sun signs correlation differ. Some might have, say for Aries, being the ram, and the dates that start and end are March 21st for starting Aries and the end of April 29th. Let's go to Leo, Virgo. Actually, you know what? Let's find some February baby stuff in here. February 19th through March 20th is Pisces. But I've also seen where March 22nd was the ending of Pisces, correlation to the zodiac. So I think it's just a broad spectrum, just like when our Sabbats fall on Yule, for example, could either fall on anywhere from the 20th to the 22nd. From the 20th to the 22nd, it has to relate with when the sun passes over a certain point or how close it is in its degrees to the earth. So your rising sun sign would be Pisces, and then the thing would be to find on Lunarium website your year of birth and the month. I have also seen moon sign charts where they require your time of birth. However, with the Lunarium website, since it's a calendar event, it shows from the beginning of the calendar month to the end of the calendar month. It gives the dates and times, and just like how Kaylin is a Virgo moon rising sign, but her Cancer Leo cusp sun sign, it told the days from the 22nd to the 25th it was Virgo, and then it changed to what was Aquarius. Anyway, so yeah. And if you don't find correspondences that relate to you with your sun sign and moon sign, I think maybe environmental aspects factor in, like how you were raised, where you were raised, what your parents were like, what the friends you hung out with were like. What do you feel you have to prepare yourself for, stand up for, fight for, how you have to protect yourself, how you're able to be willing to open up to certain aspects of things. And it's also about being true with yourself. If I see something in my horoscope, I wouldn't say horoscope, but I would, a really good example is how we find things that relate to us makes it true to us. However, if we are not honest with ourselves, how can we truly decide what's right for us? Just because we don't like the negative aspects that are said in said horoscope or zodiac sign meaning, then we can't really be honest with ourselves in accepting that aspect of ourselves. When I was camping just recently, we did a Sunday night, where we did hide and seek in the dark, and we had the entire campsite to ourselves, which was awesome. There was nobody there, so we enjoyed hide and seek, and we played 3 or 4 different rounds of hide and seek, and we were teamed up. But at one point, my daughter Kaylin, who was teamed up with me for the first 2 hide and seeks, decided that she wanted to be one of the seekers with her dad. Or the girls, I forget. Oh, it was Jasmine and JC who were seeking, and I was hiding. I heard something coming up from the creek bed, and I was like, is that one of the other guys that are finding this is a hiding spot too, and they're just getting closer? And as I started to pay attention, I was like, no, that's too small, and it's moving too fast, and it's not big enough. to be a bear or a mountain lion, but it's also not big enough to be one of the other people that are in these groups. And as it got closer, I reached stealthily into my pocket, brought out my flashlight, and flashed my light into the direction that I heard this noise coming from. It was a fox, and it stood 6 feet away from me. And I got to experience this fox standing there dead still because he heard the other girls, Jasmine and JC, coming down the road doing their seeking, looking for us. But since I was standing there, I was not a threat. I was just still and silent. I was able to view this fox standing 6 feet away from me with my flashlight dead on him, and it just stood there for 40 seconds. And I was like, oh, that's so awesome. And being able to find things that resonate with us in a correlation or corresponding aha or wow, mind-blowing revelation, it's sometimes not easy to see the signs, but when you do, you connect the links and you understand it as how it makes sense to you. And I do use my Witch's Date Book, the Llewellyn Almanac, quite often. However, I didn't bring it with us, but I was going through it the night we got home, and I was filling in stuff of like the first day of camping, the second day of camping, third day, what did we do? And then I was filling out more on hiding and seek in the dark on Sunday the 21st, and I started writing, saw a fox 6 feet from where I was hiding. And then I noticed this right here on the 21st, the same day I saw the fox has the animal power of walking between worlds and seeing possibilities. So just like how we can recognize aspects within our zodiac sign, we also recognize aspects throughout our daily life that can be like, whoa, what the hell? Because I was just filling this in this morning as I was sitting outside having some coffee, listening to the birds, looking at my garden, and I noticed that today, the whole fox. I just saw that on the 26th. I was like, what? It's amazing. So it's really about being honest with yourself and being true to yourself. And if you truly don't feel that any of those rising moon signs correlates to you in any way, it's not that I don't understand how you can't see at least some aspects of the zodiac relating to you personally. Wish I knew what year you were born so then we can all see. But anyway, just be patient, and maybe someday you'll just get that click that makes sense to you, and you'll be like, why didn't I see this sooner? But then don't be upset with yourself for not seeing it sooner, because you can't blame yourself for what you didn't know before you knew it. All right. Peace and love, and everybody enjoy the rest of their weekend, and I hope everyone has a fabulous coming up week. And take care.